Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. If you're invested in XRP, XLM, XDC, then you're going to want to listen to the video to its completion because I have some very exciting and bullish information. So let's dive right in. Ripple writes to U.S. Senator on regulatory havoc and confusion. So the SEC versus Ripple has generated a great deal of press and provoked strong words from stakeholders on both sides. And as the lawsuit drags on, more American politicians have come out to express their views on the case and crypto regulations at large. So most recently, in a statement dated this September 25th, Ripple Labs Inc. responded to Senator Patrick Toomey's request for feedback on the clarity of the laws linked to cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. And in the letter, Ripple criticized the current regulatory scene and offered suggestions for achieving optimal outcomes. So Ripple's General Counsel Stuart Alderoty shared a link to the letter and thanked Toomey for engaging within the industry or with the industry. And basically on his, Stuart Alderoty, that is, his tweet, on the second half of it, if you can see the screen, don't look at it if you're working or driving. Stay safe. Don't get in trouble. Check it out when you get home if you're jogging or riding your bike or whatever you're doing. Out of the many responses that I get in messaging, thanks for your support of this channel while you're out doing what you do, working and having fun, etc., or even on your long drives, as we often get. So diving right back in, it all comes back to clear regulatory frameworks that allow innovation to flourish with consumer and market protections. And we don't have clarity today in the U.S. despite those who insist on incorrectly suggesting otherwise. Thank you, Senator Toomey, for engaging with the industry. And pretty much the only ones that I have physically heard, you know, in the timeline that I've been a little more serious and focused. Obviously, I came in, paid attention since Bitcoin was 25 cents, but I got a little more serious in 2015. Having said that, it's only a timeline, means nothing more than that. But in that timeline, I've not heard anyone except for the Ethereum guys stating that there is great regulatory clarity in the USA, as the Ethereum executives have stated that, you know, they were very excited whenever the SEC labeled them a cryptocurrency. And I'm sure you can find that video floating around right now if you look. So next article, Ripple Labs releases 250 million USD fund for NFT creators and brands. Even Brad Garlinghouse tweeted this out today as well. And so Ripple Labs, a big supporter of non-fungible tokens, also known as NFTs, has announced that it is launching a 250 million USD fund for creators, institutions, and brands, giving them opportunities to explore new use cases for NFTs on its ledger. So again, broadening the utility and use case of the XRPL. And also, too, just a recent update here with the Boston Fed's first look at digital US dollar, stating it's nearly done, an official says. So we know the initial was connected to Accenture, and we've shown over the past 2 years how Accenture connects back to even Ripple and Stellar as well. So we'll see how that plays out. And speaking of Stellar, Stablecorp and VersaBank issue a Canadian stablecoin, the VCAD, the VCAD, on Stellar. Digital banking leader VersaBank and Canadian blockchain fintech from Stablecorp plan to commercially launch the VCAD token, a Canadian stablecoin that will be public and live on the Stellar network and the first to be issued by a North American bank. And as a result of this pioneering partnership between VersaBank and Stablecorp, users will now have access to a high-quality bank-issued stablecoin that has the same standing, security, and stability as bank deposits. And while we're discussing Stellar, let's stay on that theme. Crypto-based remittances on the rise, and Nigeria leads the African pack. So basically from in-person retail to digital options, the decade-long shift in how consumers send money abroad has expanded possibilities for cross-border remittances. People are now favoring cheaper options that allow them to transfer funds easily, securely, and conveniently across borders. And again, I love to see the retail because that dives right into Stellar, as we often show you. So published in collaboration with the Stellar Development Foundation, the SDF, the research found that many consumers increased the frequency with which they sent funds overseas in the wake of the pandemic, and their need for cheaper, more convenient alternatives led them to turn to virtual currencies for cross-border remittances. And also, Smartlands joins the Ukrainian Association of FinTech and Innovation Companies. So, Kiev, Ukraine, September 29, 2021. Smartland is pleased to confirm that we have joined the Ukrainian Association of FinTech and Innovation Companies, the UAFIC, as a full contributing member. And the UAFIC was formed in 2018 as a non-governmental organization, the NGO, to foster the development of the fintech ecosystem in Ukraine and to operate as a space for Ukrainian companies at the forefront of the latest developments in the fintech arena, and across all classifications to share ideas and develop business opportunities both with Ukraine and international markets. And I think this is a very big deal as well. And one thing that we often continue to follow up with Smartlands as well is because if you are new to the space, one thing that we love about these guys is they chose to build on the stellar open source networks. So that is a pretty big deal. Also, too, we have DeFi-enabled enterprise-grade hybrid blockchain XDC network and gains compliance edge. So BIGG Digital Assets Inc. is a subsidiary blockchain intelligence group, secures 213,800 USD contract from the XDC network. So the big Digital Assets Inc., the owner of Blockchain Intelligence Group, a global developer of blockchain technology building a secure future, is pleased to announce a partnership with Zenfin, developer of the enterprise-ready hybrid blockchain network XDC. So again, this is very bullish, and Andre Casterman had told us that there was going to continue to be news being released in regards of what was immediately active in regards to XDC, and he did not disappoint. Andre Casterman is continuing to do amazing things to help the XDC network and Zenfin, and it's exciting to see. And he brings his experience as well from the Swift network. So that's a lot of experience that he has to benefit with the XDC network as well, especially with his over 20 years in multiple, I guess, focused area within Swift, but as well as what I would consider focusing on the XDC or beneficial, to the XDC network is his experience with trade finance. So that's pretty amazing. But before we go, guys, remember this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. But I want to leave you with a final thought, as always. And as simple as it is, repeat after me. I can do this. And that's something I've personally done many, many, many times. And as my career as a professional athlete, you know, in specific sport, skateboarding, I would always realize at that frustration level when I would just get so frustrated because it's something that we do. I mean, we may try a trick, you know, day after day, or even come back week after week until we get it perfect. Even if we get it good, we want it to be perfect, because for us, style is everything. And not only just landing and rolling away from a perfect trick, we wanted it to be looking effortless and very smooth and comfortable and fun. And that's the crazy thing with my sport is one thing we would do over and over again. It could be 100 tries, it could be 1,000 tries until we got it. But my red line, I guess you could say, there's always something inside of you that makes you say, okay, that's it. I'm not quitting. I don't care what it takes. If it's the last breath I have, I'm going to do this. For me, the thing that I would get so frustrated and be like, oh, I can't do this. And then the second my mind registered, I cannot, or I can't, then it was on. Then I was not stopping. I was not leaving until it was perfect. So again, do this in your life, you know, whatever your area is that you're going through. Remember, tell yourself, it's, you know, as a kid and still to this day, I've always had the book, and I keep it for my kids, The Little Engine That Could. Every time you get to a point where you feel beat down, just remember, tell yourself, I've got this. I can do this. I'm getting through this, and there's nothing that can stop me. And I guarantee that'll change your whole entire attitude, your whole mental and emotional structure inside of your body, and you will succeed and you will get through that. That's something I've lived many, many, many times over. And much love again, guys, to each and every one of you. This channel is here only because of you. That means if you hear the sound of my voice, I'm talking to you. Nothing but love. And again, we appreciate your support here. And I also want to say thanks to our VIP on Patreon, Surfmeister. Much love, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.